Love Judy.
I'm Jessica Dupart. A lot of people know me as Judy. I am the owner of Kaleidoscope Hair Products. To date, the company's probably made close to $40 million. Also birthed Kaleidoscope Realty, Kaleidoscope Management, Kaleidoscope Cares, Kaleidoscope Shipping and Receiving. Yeah, all of that.
The betrayal that had shaken her to her core had already turned her world upside down, but she hadn't fully grasped its depths. She had thought she had come to terms with the heartbreak, but Judy's words, though apologetic, were not enough to undo the damage. With each word Judy spoke, the bond they had once shared felt more and more fragile, as though it could snap at any moment.
Well, you may have seen me out, but I would never put myself in a position to get hurt or be caught. I would never hold hands or do anything improper in public. So everything I did personally was private. I made sure of that. I won't send a naked picture, a naked video, anything, because it may possibly get out, and I didn't want to take that chance back then. Now, who cares? But
DA Brat wanted to believe that this was a moment of genuine remorse, but something in her told her that this apology, like so many others, might be too late. But just as it seemed like the story was nearing its painful resolution, another bombshell dropped, one that left DA Brat reeling, unable to process the gravity of what Judy had just revealed. Judy's confession was not just another attempt to mend the fracture between them. It was something far more devastating. A truth that had been hidden, perhaps for months, was now laid bare before her. DA Brat's heart pounded in her chest, and for a moment, everything around her seemed to blur as her mind tried to catch up with what had been said. She felt like the ground had been pulled out from beneath her. What she thought she knew about their relationship was now in complete jeopardy, and with it, her own sense of self. Judy's revelation had ripped through the fragile layers of trust DA Brat had been clinging to, exposing a raw wound that she hadn't even known existed. Her heart raced, not just from the shock of the new information, but from the overwhelming realization that the betrayal she had suffered was even deeper than she had imagined. Every word from Judy felt like another crack in the foundation of their relationship, each one widening until DA Brat wasn't sure there would be anything left to salvage. She had been betrayed, but now, this new truth felt like the final blow, one that left her emotionally shattered. As Judy continued to speak, DA Brat stood frozen, unable to find the words to express what she was feeling. The anger, the hurt, the disbelief, all of it churned inside her. But above all, there was a sense of profound sadness, an emptiness that no apology could fill. She had given so much to this relationship, trusting Judy with her heart, only to be faced with one betrayal after another. The rawness of the situation was overwhelming, and DA Brat's mind raced with questions she couldn't answer. How could she have been so blind? How could she have let herself be fooled by the facade they had built together? With every passing second, the room seemed to close in around her, and DA Brat realized that she wasn't just facing the loss of a relationship. She was facing the loss of her own sense of trust, the thing she had once believed to be unbreakable. It wasn't just about what Judy had done.
Well, you may have seen me out, but I would never put myself in a position to get hurt or be caught. I would never hold hands or do anything improper in public. So everything I did personally was private. I made sure of that. I won't send a naked picture, a naked video, anything, because it may possibly get out, and I didn't want to take that chance back then. Now, who cares? But back
You need to be aware what DA Brat had allowed herself to believe, despite the warning signs. Her heart ached as she wondered whether she would ever be able to open herself up to someone again, to trust someone with her love without the fear of being betrayed. Finally, DA Brat couldn't take it anymore. The weight of the conversation, the weight of the lies, the weight of the heartbreak, it was too much. She turned and walked away, each step feeling heavier than the last. As she left, her emotions threatened to spill over, but she held them back, determined to keep her composure. The camera lingered on her face, capturing the tear-streaked cheeks and the hollow look in her eyes. The viewers were left in suspense, wondering if DA Brat would ever find healing, or if this would be the end of her ability to trust anyone again. In that moment, the story wasn't just about a relationship falling apart. It was about the struggle to rebuild after the trust had been shattered beyond repair. It was about the painful realization that sometimes, the people we love the most are capable of hurting us in ways we never thought possible. And for DA Brat, that was the hardest pill to swallow. The fact that she had to walk away, not just from Judy, but from everything she had once believed in. What happens next? Can DA Brat forgive Judy and move forward? Or is this the end of their love story? The question hangs in the air, unanswered, as the screen fades to black. So, what do you think is going to happen next? Will DA Brat be able to forgive Judy? Or is the damage too deep to heal? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop your theories and speculations in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more updates on this heartbreaking saga. The story isn't over yet. Stay tuned for the next chapter in this emotional roller coaster. You won't want to miss what happens next. Let us know your thoughts. Are you #Team DA Brat or #Team Judy? Which side are you on? And what do you think will happen next? Keep the conversation going and let's dive deeper into this unforgettable drama.
Judy. I came out because I was in deep love and feeling a feeling that I never felt before. And I know my sister, so I know she may have or may have not had something negative to say. So I didn't talk to her before that because my sister's very judgmental. You used to whoop me, so I just, just wanted to do it on my own.
With her life turned their back on everything they had built together? This is the kind of story that makes you question everything about trust, loyalty, and what truly happens behind closed doors. Brace yourself, because this is not your average breakup story. The shocking confession that sent DA Brat into an emotional spiral will have you questioning everything about love and trust. In this whirlwind of lies, heartbreak, and raw emotion, nothing is what it seems. The truth is more complicated, more devastating, and far more intense than anyone could have predicted. The air in the room felt thick, almost suffocating, as Judy's words echoed in DA Brat's ears. She could barely comprehend what was happening, the shock freezing her in place as Judy looked at her with a mixture of guilt and regret. 4 months, DA Brat had been living in a relationship she thought was perfect, a relationship built on trust and affection. But as Judy spoke the words, DA Brat's world began to crumble before her eyes. "I've been seeing someone else," Judy confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. It wasn't just an affair, it was an emotional connection, something deeper and far more meaningful than a fleeting fling. DA Brat's heart dropped. The truth hit her harder than any blow could. It wasn't just about the cheating, it was about the loss of trust, the collapse of everything they had built together. As the camera zooms in on DA Brat's face, the raw emotion is impossible to ignore. The anger, heartbreak, and disbelief are all too visible. She stands there, trying to process the enormity of the betrayal. She had trusted Judy with everything, had opened her heart, and now, it felt like it was all taken away in an instant. The pain is palpable, as if the weight of the betrayal is pressing down on her chest. Why is this so devastating? This wasn't just a random betrayal. It was someone who had promised to be there through thick and thin. It was someone who was supposed to be her rock. And now, that rock was the one who had betrayed her. DA Brat had built her life around this love, and now it felt like everything was slipping through her fingers. But now, every moment they had shared felt tainted. Every happy memory felt like a lie. The good times they had shared, the vacations, the laughter, it all seemed meaningless in the face of this betrayal. How had things gotten so bad? Where had the cracks in their relationship come from? Was there something DA Brat had missed along the way? The love they once shared now felt like a distant memory. What had once been the foundation of their connection now felt like the very thing that had led to this betrayal. It was a loss DA Brat never expected to experience. She had trusted Judy with everything, and now, she was left with nothing but the cold sting of betrayal. Now, the families were caught in the middle of this devastating situation. Both sides had always been close, offering support and love to the couple as they navigated the ups and downs of their relationship. But now, with this revelation, everything had changed. Judy's family had always stood by her, just as DA Brat's family had stood by her. But now, the two families found themselves on opposite sides of an emotional battlefield. Judy's family tried to defend her actions. They couldn't understand why DA Brat was so upset. They believed that Judy must have had her reasons, that there had to be something more to the story. But DA Brat's family was devastated. They saw their daughter being torn apart by someone she had loved and trusted deeply. They couldn't comprehend how Judy could do this to her. The emotional divide between the two families grew wider with every passing moment. Emotions were running high. Some of Judy's relatives were in denial, trying to justify her actions, while others could see the heartbreak in DA Brat's eyes and felt sympathy for her. DA Brat's family couldn't help but feel betrayed too. They had welcomed Judy into their lives, treated her like one of their own, and now, they had to watch their daughter endure this unimaginable pain. The loyalty that had once united them was now torn apart. And then there's the internet. Fans of the couple, who had once admired them, were now divided. Social media was buzzing with theories, opinions, and heated debates. Some fans rushed to DA Brat's defense, expressing their outrage and frustration at the betrayal. They couldn't understand how Judy could hurt her like this. Others, however, were trying to find some understanding, some reasoning behind Judy's actions. They speculated about what had really gone wrong in the relationship. Was there a deeper emotional disconnect? Or was it simply a case of one person falling out of love? Then came the moment that would change everything. DA Brat, overwhelmed by the emotional weight of the betrayal, was faced with an impossible decision. Should she forgive Judy and try to rebuild their relationship? Or should she walk away, leaving everything behind? The decision wasn't just about love, it was about trust, loyalty, and whether or not the wounds could ever heal. As Judy pleaded for forgiveness, DA Brat's face was a mixture of anger, sadness, and confusion. Her heart was torn between the love she still felt for Judy and the betrayal that cut her so deeply. Could she really forgive the woman who had broken her heart? Was there any way to rebuild what had been shattered? The camera captured every raw moment of DA Brat's inner turmoil, every second of her emotional battle. She stood there, frozen in place, wrestling with the storm of conflicting emotions tearing her apart. Judy, standing before her, kept apologizing, her voice thick with regret, but each word seemed to deepen the tension between them. The silence in the room was almost suffocating, filled only by the heavy weight of unspoken feelings. DA Brat's eyes, though full of hurt, were also filled with an undeniable vulnerability, her face a canvas of pain and uncertainty. She wasn't just struggling to decide whether or not to stay in this relationship. She was questioning something far more profound, whether she could ever trust again.